From Seminole Hard Rock in Hollywood, Florida, this is Poker Night in America. Hello and welcome back to our continuing coverage of Poker Night in America presents The Big Four. Alongside Mr. Joe Stapleton, I am Chris Hansen, and we are in beautiful Hollywood, Florida at the Seminole Hard Rock Poker Open, aka The Big Four.
Why do they call it the Big Four, the wise son asks? Because we play the final tables of each tournament simultaneously in the same room at the same time.
In just a moment, we will get back to the main event where just 5 of the 914 players remain. But first, Jesse Abramowitz is going to tell us about what's going on at the 3 other tables.
Down here on the tournament floor, all 3 tables are 3-handed. I'll be updating you as play progresses.
Joey Cowden leads the $1,100 re-entry with a substantial chip lead on Michael Graffio and last year's third-place finisher, Dublin's Mark McDonnell. The 2650 single re-entry, which garnered 422 entrants, is now being led by last year's winner, Alex Foxen, who has a slim lead over Blair Hinkle. Jake Schwartz is in survival mode, sitting on a sub-20 big blind stack. Lastly, and definitively not the least, the 25K high roller is now being led by Sean Deeb, who just doubled through Jake Schindler. Trailing in third is Tom Marchese. He's got roughly 20 big blinds.
Back up to you guys in the booth.
Let's check out our 5 remaining stacks in the main with blinds at 50 and 100,000 and 50,000 ante.
Jeremy Osmond's leading the way with almost 12 million. Stoyan Obershev is sitting comfortably with 8.3 million, as are Brandon Eisen and Ryan D'Angelo, who are both right around 7 million. Our singular short stack belongs to Adam Adler with 2.4 mil. Playing from 5 down to the winner. Here we go. Ace Queen to kick things off. For Brandon Eisen, still getting dressed. Okay. Ace Queen suited even. Pocket 5s for Ryan D'Angelo. Too strong to fold, not strong enough to go crazy with. Remember, D'Angelo and Eisen tangled before. Eisen called it off with pocket deuces to the pocket queens of D'Angelo. D'Angelo doubled through Eisen.
$6-10 in the big blind for Jeremy Osmus. That gets folded. So we'll be heads up with Eisen and D'Angelo. Flop is 9-9-10.
Not a terrible flop for 5s, but they can go sour pretty quick on a board like this.
Eisen puts out a continuation bet at 225,000.
I expect Ryan to call at least one time.
Okay, 1.15 million in the middle.
Wow, with the king of clubs on the turn, Eisen all of a sudden picks up more equity than a Mr. Wonderful Shark Tank deal.
And here goes Eisen again, betting on the turn, 650,000.
Look, as a general rule, I think that picking up equity means you should bet. He's got clubs, he's got aces and queens that might be live, he's got a straight draw. Let's do this, and he gets a better hand to fold.
So we are 5-handed, by the way, 195,000 to the next person who's eliminated tonight, and also 771,000 for whoever wins tonight here at Seminole Hard Rock Poker Open.
Hey, let's get the bread, everyone. Let's shop for bread.
Ace-King for Stoyan Obrezhkov.
Makes it 225.
And Brandon Eisen.
Defends with the 7-9.
Again, everybody defends the big blind. No big blind has ever folded. And this is why. Flop is 9-7.
Calls with the offsuit, 7-9. Flops ace-king, almost dead.
A check draws a king on the turn.
So Obrezhkov goes from drawing nearly dead to having 21% equity in the hand.
So what you're saying, it gives him help, but it mainly hurts.
Just depends on what that river is.
300,000 the bet from Eisen.
Seems like a pretty obvious spot for a call. Top pair, top kicker. And Eisen would bluff at that king fairly regularly, I think. And it is a heart on the river, but does not change the hand strength of either player's hand. If Eisen keeps running like this, he's gonna be a rich Eisen. That might be my worst joke of all time. I just want.
Breshkov calls, and this pot is going to Brandon Eisen.
This huge pot goes to Brandon Eisen. Ryan D'Angelo first to act here. Yeah. King Trey for Breshkov, he's out.
All right, on the button,
Hello, sailor.
Osmus with ace king. Brings it up to 225. Action now on Adam Adler out of the big blind. Adler, our short stack.
Something freeing about being the short stack. You don't have to worry too much about waiting out the other short stacks.
Well, there is that. And your plays are pretty limited of either this or fold.
Call.
Adler moves all in with his ace-king, gets called by Osmus's ace-king.
Flop is deuce, 6, 8.
Red flop means Adler can't win outright. Wow, heart on the turn gives Osmus an 18% chance of winning this entire pot, even though it's supposed to be a chop.
No, it's not supposed to. Oh, no, it's not supposed to happen like that.
Dirty, dirty Bert and Ernie.
Adam Adler takes home more than $195,000 for his fifth place finish. Just 4 left. We'll be right back. How would you like to play against the pros on national TV? Download now to play and win. It's absolutely free to play.
Welcome back to the Big Four here at the Seminole Hard Rock in Hollywood, Florida.
From 914, we are down to 4. Everyone is locked up at least $258,000.
I know, I do feel bad. He's a nice guy, I like him, yeah.
It's happened twice in the final 2 tables in this tournament.
I'll leave him be. It's probably.
All right, here we go. Back to the action. Queen 8 suited for Osmus.
Yeah, I agree.
Jeremy trying to use that chip lead to put pressure on the medium stacks who won't want to go out before the short stack.
Eisen calls with 6s.
900.
D'Angelo finds himself a little squeeze spot and a perfect hand to squeeze with. Ace-king suited. Osmus caught with his hand in the cookie jar a little bit. And he is on a no-carb diet.
And we're back to Eisen with his 6s.
Now, Eisen's getting about 2 to 1, but the last time he got it in with a pair against D'Angelo, he was in horrible shape. And I don't think he can really call here with 2 6s. He does have D'Angelo covered.
Wow, he's going to move all in.
And we are flipping.
Whoa, a call too. All right.
No, you're in the back. I should
Oh boy, here we go with 12.9 million chips in the middle.
Thousands of dollars of real money equity on the line. Ryan hates this situation.
4th place does bring home $258,000. Will there be an elimination, or does D'Angelo get to sit down for another hand? Flops 9, 10, Trey.
Eisen sitting back down. He likes it after this flop. Ryan's in big, big trouble, especially with no additional outs picked up on the turn.
Ace or king only. It didn't happen. Wow, and that will do it for Ryan D'Angelo. And what a massive pot for Brian Eisen getting those 6s to hold up.
Guys,
Ryan D'Angelo out in 4th place, $258,615. And we are now 3-handed. Yeah, in these big blind ante tournaments, they typically do not reduce the size of the ante.
Yeah, the blinds are 75K and 125K. So that'll also be then 125,000 ante from the big blind.
Eisen with an ace, usually pretty good 3-handed.
All right, we're getting up there with pays here, Stapleton. We're looking at like buying houses kind of money now. 349,000 for our 3rd place finisher.
What city can you get a house for $300,000?
Where I live, a nice one.
That's what I pay for rent.
So it's a battle of the aces, ace deuce versus ace 10. And ace 10 is still ahead for Obrezhkov. Check, check on that flop.
Obrezhkov still with the best hand. These two ace highs are not chopping.
Checkity, check, check. To the river. River's an 8.
All right, so Obrezhkov already had the best hand, but now he's got the for real best hand. Obrezhkov bets 425,000. Lots and lots he can hope to be called by. He can get called by a jack, he can get called by a 9, a 7, he can get called by ace high. Does get the call from ace high. 1.5 million the pot going to Obrezhkov, and the stacks even out a little bit more. 4 final tables all happening in one room here at the Seminole Hard Rock. We are focusing our attention on the championship event. Stoyan Obrezhkov with ace queen makes it 300,000.
Great turnout once again, as always, here at Seminole Hard Rock for the Poker Open. Over 900 players, and these are the only 3 who are left. Action's on Jeremy Osmus.
Just calls 7-5 suited. And oh, baby, what a time to wake up with kings, like having a Game of Thrones alarm clock. And there's the 3-bet from Eisen. And this looks like such a squeeze spot. There's absolutely no way ace-queen ever folds, especially in position.
So there is the call. Osmus now will get out.
Jeremy, very happy for these two to do some damage to each other.
2.82 million in the middle. As we go to the flop, 4, 6, 7 is the flop.
Pretty safe flop for the kings, but I think this goes bet fold a lot of the time. I did think this was gonna go bet fold a lot, but no, Obrezhkov calls with ace queen high.
All right, so here we go to the turn.
Wow.
Queen.
Worst card ever. Top pair, top kicker for Obrezhkov, and it is no good. Ooh, Eisen checks. This should be all the rope Obrezhkov needs to get in some real trouble.
Yeah, that's a real door opener there.
Why do they call it giving rope to someone?
You don't want to know. The bet is 1.55 million from Obrezhkov.
Huge bet, huge pot. There's the all-in from Eisen.
And a call.
Obrezhkov calls with top pair, top kicker, and that is very likely to be the end of Stoyan Obrezhkov. He is drawing to aces and queens. The difference between second and third place money is $90,000. Obrezhkov misses the river, and we will be missing him from this tournament. He is out of here in third place. Stoyan's take home $349,889.
Good luck, bro. Yeah, thank you.
What a wild time for Brandon Eisen, who gets 60 bigs in. Pre with 6s is ahead, wins a flip, wakes up with a kings, and his opponent turns top just like that. He's got 24 million in a monster stack.
Wow, we need to take a commercial break so we can move the players as far apart from each other as this table will allow.
As is tradition.
Welcome back to the Seminole Hard Rock in Hollywood, Florida, where Jeremy Osmus and Brandon Eisen will battle for the main event title and over $771,000.
150 doesn't make sense, does it?
I mean, 75, 125.
Pocket tens for Eisen. Up to 300,000.
How about this one? Brandon Eisen, if he's a guy that really loves going to events, like he'll go to any event you pay him to go to, he's the event horizon.
Eisen bets 225. And Osmus raises the 600K.
This ambitious raise, Ausmus went from having no outs pre-flop to having 18% equity here, but it's a board that he can effectively bluff out a lot of better hands.
And there go the pocket tens. Wow.
You don't blame him at all. It's a scary board for pocket tens. Well executed bluff.
912 other players are wishing they were where these two are at right now. Heads up for a championship.
Eisen makes it 300K with 10-9. Ausmus, Queen 8 suited. And those are re-raising chips. 1.325 million. And Eisen is not gonna fold the 10-9.
Look at this. Look at all the chips, Joe Stapleton. Look at that.
That is another raise, this time to 3.4 million.
Oh,
I think at this point, Ausmus is gonna have to let it go. You can't call with Queen 8, and you don't wanna get it in with Queen 8. Time for Queen 8 to go into the muck.
and there they go. Wow, nice play from Brandon Eisen.
The plaques, they are a-flying. And Brandon Eisen, a considerable chip lead over Jeremy Ausmus.
Blind still at 75K, 125K.
Eisen with plaques on both sides of the table.
Look at that. 8-10 of clubs for Ausmus.
Look, when you have 914 runners in a tournament, that's a lot of chips in play. King Jack versus 10-8 suited to the flop.
7 Jack Queen is the flop.
Pair for Eisen, gut shot for Ausmus. Eisen betting with the best of it.
The bets look so small when plaques aren't involved.
Well, this is a relatively small bet toward the size of the pot, which is why Ausmus can call with his 10-8.
Eisen still ahead with his pair of jacks.
Check, check. And it's 2 pair now for Eisen. And I really don't think this is a great spot for Ausmus to attempt to bluff, even without the hole card information.
Well, and Ausmus is going to give it a try with 1.5 million and a call from Eisen.
He was just in a terrible spot there. It's a spot where a bluff's rarely going to work, but 10 high is never good at showdowns. So he's sort of damned if he does, damned if he doesn't. And guess what? He was damned.
Yeah.
Chris, we've got breaking action at the 2650 tournament.
We now go over to our correspondent, Jesse Abramowitz. What's the latest, Jesse?
Well, Jake Schwartz 4-bet shipped his last 14 bigs with 2 10s. Blair Hinkle had 3-bet ace rag and was mathematically committed, only 5 more bigs to call. So Schwartz at risk, but in good shape with 2 10s. And I may have jinxed him. Hinkle spikes the ace. Not a good turn either. Just 5 outs, 3 kings, 2 10s, 1 time for Jake Schwartz. It's the 7 of clubs, so we're gonna lose Jake Schwartz in 3rd place, but he'll take home almost $94,000.
Jesse, much appreciated. Back to the championship event.
Again, tonight's champion, 771,540 for 2nd place. And they always give the really cool trophies here at Seminole Hard Rock, too.
Ausmus raises king 6. Eisen's in. Ace 9. Ha ha! 2 pair now for Ausmus.
All right, so Ausmus bets 225. Eisen makes the call. A jack of hearts on the turn.
Eisen checks. He's got a gut shot now.
Eisen needs either an ace or a queen.
Ooh, Ausmus checks behind. Gives a potentially dangerous free card to Eisen on the river, who does not improve.
1.8 million is the bet.
That's how much? 1.8?
And yeah, there's some stuff out there that beats king 6, but you're never folding 2 pair in this spot, so yeah, you're not folding. Ausmus calls, Ausmus wins. Hey Google, throw to commercial break.
I'm sorry, Joe. I don't know how to do that, and even if I could, would it kill you to say please?
Welcome back to the Seminole Hard Rock Hotel and Casino, where heads-up play continues between Brandon Eisen and Jeremy Ausmus.
Do you think this is going to take long? I've got a thing.
You do a lot more tournament coverage than I do, buddy. How long does it usually take when it's heads up and there's like 300 big blinds in play? 4 final tables all completing here today. We're focusing on the championship table, 52.50 to buy in. Seems like that was long ago for Brandon Eisen and Jeremy Ausmus, as they're now playing for $771,000.
And Chris, let me know if this bothers you as much as it bothers me. I am sickened by the complete and utter lack of sportsmanship between these two. I mean, the trash talking and the verbal sparring, they're unbecoming of a great game like this one. Look at this.
I know. Would you shut up already and let us call the commentary, if you wouldn't mind. We're trying to do our job. 4-4-8 is the flop.
Jeremy Ausmus flops a boat
I mean,
with the Orwell.
That's not even real life. Like, that's never supposed to happen.
Chris, tell me you got that reference, the Orwell.
I did, 1984.
Okay, good. I thought you were gonna think I meant that Seth MacFarlane sci-fi show.
No.
We've got quite the hand shaping up here. Ausmus has a lock on the hand. He cannot lose it. Eisen has picked up a really strong draw, however.
Strong enough that, yeah, there's going to be some more chips committed by Mr. Eisen. 800,000 is the bet from Ausmus. And that's a call. This pot is now approaching 3 million.
Nearly 3 million chips in the middle. Oh my goodness, that's bad.
Eisen makes a straight on the river.
So sick. Eisen got there even though there wasn't anywhere to be getting. Ausmus checks at exactly the right time. Eisen has a hand he cannot check behind. He's gonna have the best hand here so often, just not this time.
This looks like a biggie. This is over 2 million, 2.1 million to be exact.
Over 5 million in the middle. Ausmus, he's got no choice but to raise.
Ausmus knows exactly how strong he is right now.
He's the strongest man in the world.
Yeah.
Oh, and here comes just the most amount of chips we've seen put into the middle. The raises to 8 million, over 13 million in the pot now. And what a sick spot Eisen is in.
Yeesh.
I just don't know how you're supposed to get away from this.
Oh,
Eisen
boy.
calls. Jeremy Ausmus is gonna win an 18.9 million chip pot. Let's just call it 19 million. That is gonna give Jeremy Ausmus the significant chip lead over Brandon Eisen in this heads-up match.
Nice time to have 9s one time.
I know, it crossed my mind. They're like 4 9s.
Or
too, or
5. Wait,
something.
no, I can't have 5s. Yeah.
Stacks and plaques.
Yeah, I was just like, man, hope he's got a big 4, the straight, you know?
Is that a wedding ring?
Yeah.
Oh, so disappointing.
Taken. Sorry.
How's he gonna date my girlfriend now?
That's maybe good news for you. That's actually beneficial.
The best news.
Yeah. King 10 versus 10-9, and the flop is 5-6-10.
Top pair for both players. Goes check, check.
Now, if you are Brandon Eisen here, you got to keep your composure. I know it's easy to say it's because I'm sitting in a chair looking at this on a monitor, and I'm not sitting in his chair with all the chips that I just had sitting immediately to my right.
Yeah, after having lost all the chips that Eisen just did to Ausmus, I'd probably be all in and out of the tournament by now with top pair. So good discipline, just call from Eisen. He does not improve on the river. I don't think that jack is gonna save him much though. He's probably gonna have to pay yet another bet off from Jeremy Ausmus. 800,000 is that bet. And I think this is just another spot that Eisen can't get away from, but he luckily just calls.
Wow, there's another more than 3 million chips headed the wrong direction for Brandon Eisen.
We're gonna take a quick break in the action from the main event to check in on the high roller. Jesse Abramowitz, talk to us.
A visibly frustrated Tom Marchese, sitting on about 18 bigs, facing a shove from Sean Deeb, makes the call, flips over Queen 10. in bad shape versus Deeb and at risk. To the flop they go. Ace in the window, and it only gets worse from there on out. Marchese drawing to runner, straight cards. Deuce is not it. So a big swing and a miss for Marchese. And maybe on that fist bump too. That's probably worth a rewind there. Nonetheless, Tom Marchese finishes in third place. He'll take home over $371,000. Poker Night in America presents the Big Four. We'll be back right after this.
Welcome back to the Big Four main event here at the Seminole Hard Rock. What once was 914 entries is now down to just 2.
Who are you?
Hey, buddy.
Are we back on?
Yeah, we're working here. Come on. This is what we're down to. Second place gets $540,000. First place gets $771,000. Brandon Eisen and Jeremy Ausmus. All that is left of all the players that came with so many hopes and dreams to Seminole Hard Rock for the Poker Open Championship event.
Playing for over $200,000 difference in prize money, but that all-important title. Plenty of bragging rights for beating a 900-player field as we go to the flop. Ace, 9, 8, 2 diamonds, top pair for Eisen. It'll be pretty tough for Eisen to lose this one. Well, Ausmus does pick up equity on the turn somehow. It's only from 3 to 9%, but he did triple it.
Ausmus is grabbing for chips, and so he's putting $500,000 in.
Pick up equity, put out a bet.
I've heard that somewhere before.
Yeah.
Is that the new thing you just learned, so that's all you can think of?
No, that's Deepak Chopra.
Oh. I didn't know he was a poker player. Oh, I'm thinking of Yo-Yo Ma. Another jack comes on the river.
And Ausmus may elect to double barrel, try to get an 8 or a 9 to fold, maybe even some king highs. And there's a bet of $1 million. Now, I think this is a side call spot for Eisen, but he's been in this spot so many times before, kind of has to call the river. At least this time, he'll have the winner.
He does call, and he will get some chips back.
Anything you want, you got it. The final tables of 4 tournaments all happening at the same time. Let's check in on one of the others. Jesse, what have you got for us?
I've got another short stack all in and at risk. This time it's Michael Graffio, who is 3-bet shoved face first into McDonald's aces. Graffio is going to need some help. And all things considered, that's a great flop for Michael as he makes a pair and picks up a backdoor diamond draw. The turn is the uninspiring deuce of spades, so just a jack or a 7 here for Graffio. It's a 9er, so we will lose Michael Graffio in third place. You will head on over to the cage to collect nearly $54,000. Joe and Chris, back up to you.
Back to the action here at the championship event.
Line still, stack size relatively low at 75 and 125.
Jeremy Ausmus raising a 6 suited. Very strong heads up. Ooh, re-raise. 1.1 million with the old 9-6. Ice. Nice. Re-raisey. Ausmus with the suited ace in position. Not likely to fold. And he has got Eisen dominated. Oh, man. Sometimes you re-raise with 6-9 and flop 2 pair.
And Ausmus does catch a piece too, so that's going to keep him interested for sure. Eisen is first. He checks.
Pairs are just so strong heads up. Ausmus could lose some more chips. He will lose some more chips.
And this looks like 750,000.
Eisen deciding whether to call or raise. If it's a raise, how much? If it's a call, how much?
And that is a raise. He's going up to 3.8 million chips, just over 3 million for Jeremy Ausmus to call.
I think when Eisen makes this raise, he's hoping for Ausmus to have a slightly bigger piece than the one he has. There are a few draws Eisen could be making this raise with, but probably not enough for Ausmus to call. I think this is just a fold.
I thought you bet 12. 1250. That's why I made it.
I was wondering if that was a misclick.
Okay, we're gonna have to take a very brief commercial break.
What now? Just when we're getting that sweet table banter about misclicks? Come on!
How would you like to play against the pros on national TV? Download now to play and win. It's absolutely free to play. Welcome back to the continuing coverage of the Seminole Hard Rock Poker Open main event. Jeremy Ausmus holds a 21 million to 15 million chip advantage over Brandon Eisen. Both have locked up, keep in mind, over $500,000, but the difference between first and second place money is over 230 bananas.
Sounds like some very expensive bananas.
Yeah,
Because I've heard other people say that.
Oh,
but-
okay. I think usually, because that wasn't from that book. That was from the stories from a championship one or whatever. You know that other book that he wrote? It wasn't Super System. It was like
He talks about that in Super System.
the Broomcourt Uncle one.
Yeah.
I thought that was the other book.
Nobody's actually read all of Super System, let's be honest. Ausmus raising, King 10, very strong hand, heads up.
Eisen continues to apply the pressure and he bets 1.4 million.
And once again, I think Ausmus is in a situation where he just can't fold this pre-flop.
Yeah, King 10 looks real good right now. Bring, hello. It's a call. That's an old phone joke for you geezers out there like
What's
me.
a phone?
9, King 10, and sometimes you flop 2 pair.
Ausmus flops super hard. Eisen checks. I really like a bet here from Ausmus. It's a very wet board.
1 million chips is the bet. And Eisen really doesn't have anything except a bunch of hope as he calls going to the turn.
He's got a double gutter, I believe, as they say, and bingo! Ausmus flops harder than Zoolander 2, and Eisen turns harder than a male runway model.
More things going on here than an MC Escher painting.
Hey, does he have any paintings with puddles? Is that his thing?
I don't think so. He's more stairs.
Right.
Yeah.
And it looks like Jeremy is going to continue to bet his 2 pair very aggressively on this super sloppy, soaking wet board.
Wow, look at this pot. Almost 10 million in chips.
And the river is a huge brick. Safe looking river. Eisen checks. Will Ausmus try to value bet again?
Yeah, there are so many things that came home there on the turn, aren't there? That would be the only thing maybe that would slow Ausmus down.
All in.
Ausmus moves all in. Now, I do not think he's turning 2 pair into a bluff here. I think he thinks he's value betting. I can't believe he's thinking about it this long.
Well, it is for his tournament life. I mean, if he's wrong here, it's done.
That's a good point,
Game
Chris.
over.
Absolutely. It is for his tournament life, and also he's been in this situation before, and he's had the worst hand.
Call.
There's the call.
I have top 2. Doesn't sound like it's good.
Top 2, no good.
Jesse Abramowitz is roaming around Seminole Hard Rock, watching the other 4 tables go down. What's happening at the $1,100 table?
Well, we could be crowning a champion any moment now. McDonald opened ace-king, and Joey Cowden shoved ace-5 for his last 19 bigs, so it's up to the deck now. Here comes the flop. Ace-high with 2 clubs, so Cowden's gonna need to pair his 5 or hit some running clubs. The turn is the 7 of clubs, so that flush draw does come in. Cowden now stretches his outs from 3 to 11. The river's black, but it's the 9 of spades. So we're gonna lose Cowden in second place and crown our new champion, Mark McDonald, who finished 3rd in this event last year. He'll take home over $119,000. Cowden's second place finish awards him nearly 84 grand. All right, back to you guys.
So many pokers happening all at the same time, but we're back to the championship event here at Seminole Hard Rock Hotel and Casino. Ausmus's plackless, that's never a good spot to be in.
No, sir.
I wonder if I should shove the turn with my hand.
I don't know. No, I don't think so. No. Probably not.
All right, Queen Jack versus Queen 7. And the flop is 3, queen,
Oh,
3.
boy.
Oh, man. Could this be it?
Another gross situation developing. Top pair for both players. Heads up, this is just so gnarly.
300,000 the bet. It doesn't look like much, but when you consider how much Ausmus has in front of him, every chip counts right now.
Now, this is a dry board, so when Ausmus gets called there, he may be somewhat suspicious that he's beat. Goes check, check. Ausmus does slow down. The river is a deuce. And I think Eisen's gonna have to value bet this river, so Ausmus can't check behind. Here it comes.
1.6 million the bet.
And if Ausmus calls here, he'll be left with crumbs.
It's top pair. It's so hard to get away from.
Yeah, there's just no getting away from top pair on this board texture.
Oh boy, and things are in emergency mode here now for Jeremy Ausmus.
So even though this is the championship event, there's still a high roller going on, and action is in progress. Jesse Abramowitz, what's happening?
Sean Deeb is all in for his last 2.7 million. He's called the 4-bet from Jake Schindler. Deeb currently ahead with 2-10s, Schindler with king-queen suited, or queen as you'd call it, Joe. So to the flop we go. Deeb's tournament life hangs in the balance. Ace, queen, 9. Schindler pairs his queen, and now Deeb is drawing to 2-10s or running straight cards. The turn is the jack of hearts, so Deeb's chances to double are now down to 3 kings and 4 8s. One time, here we go. It's the 3 of hearts. It's over. Sean Deeb is eliminated in second place, and Jake Schindler is your 25K high roller champion. He is overcome with emotion, as you can see. He'll take home over $800,000 for first place. Sean Deeb will walk away with nearly $535K. So that'll do it for our 25K high roller. Chris and Joe, back up to you.
Jesse Abramowitz, everyone. He does this for a living. Jeremy left with just over 20 big blinds. King 8, the hand for Jeremy.
Yeah, it looks like somebody has cleaned up from a party and everything is all over here in the recycle bins, and there's just a couple of napkins left over there in the corner. Okay, it's not quite that bad, but it's getting there. King 8 for Ausmus, 7-5 for Eisen.
I feel like if Eisen had a couple of napkins in his hand, he'd still flop pretty well with it. Oh my God, come on. Another 2-pair flop for Brandon Eisen. These guys are hitting these boards harder than a couple of Russians during the Stanley Cup.
300,000, the bet from Ausmus.
There's just not much you can do heads up if you constantly get out flopped by your opponent, if they constantly make hands that can't fold to you. And wowee, full house on the turn for Eisen. Just keeps getting better and better. Eisen leads, and I think Ausmus is gonna have to give this up.
Yeah, there's really nothing there for him to make any kind of call for.
There it goes.
Again, over $200,000 separates first and second place tonight.
And these guys are fighting hard for it.
My, oh my, how quickly tables have turned.
No, Chris, you sweet man. We were just looking at the table from a different camera angle. You're adorable. We'll be right back.
Welcome back to the dramatic coverage of the Seminole Hard Rock Poker Open main event. You know, it wasn't just moments ago that Jeremy Ausmus held 2/3 of the chips in play. Now his opponent, Brandon Eisen, holds 93% of the chips available in the tournament.
Eisen jumps into this pot, limps in with 9-5. Ausmus takes the free flop with 8-4. The Orwell.
And the flop is 4-7-4. Maybe this is the kind of hand that can get Ausmus turned around.
Eisen's gonna need to catch up a little bit if that's gonna happen. I mean, that's one of the ways where Eisen has really run good in this heads-up match, is that not only has he hit big hands, but Ausmus has also hit big second-best hands.
Right, yeah.
In this case, it's gonna be tough for Ausmus to get paid. Wow, is that another full house with 8-4?
You are correct, sir.
Very similar to the hand we saw before where Eisen caught the straight on the river. Does he stick around and try to hit it again? He is drawing dead. Same situation as before.
Well, a 6 right now would cost Eisen a lot of chips. Lucky for him it isn't. It's a king of hearts. And so Eisen now has no reason to call any bet.
Yeah, and Jeremy just wants to get every last chip he can out of Eisen. He's got to know that there aren't a lot of hands that can call a big bet. So he's trying to work on an amount that might get him some action.
That amount is 1.5 million and an instant muck. Dang it, says Jeremy Ausmus. I mean, I imagine that's what he says.
Anything can happen.
Says the guy with 98% of the chips in play.
Solid.
Eisen with Queen Jack suited raises to just over 3 million, and King 5 for Ausmus. Does he want to play for all of it now?
It is his tournament life to call. King high, I think, is technically ahead of the range that Eisen should be shoving with. Technically, a call from Ausmus would be correct. There it is.
I don't know. I really don't know about this call, but
Well, you are ahead for now, Jeremy. Hold your breath, see if you can survive. Will we be crowning a champion, or will we play on here at Seminole Hard Rock Hotel and Casino in Hollywood, Florida? And here we go. Flop is Queen Jack 6. He has done it again.
Red card.
2 pair for Brandon.
King spades.
King on the turn.
Oh boy, king on the turn. Some hope now for Ausmus. But a 9 on the river will do it. It's all over, and Brandon Eisen had the chip lead. Heads up. Lost it, heads up.
Congrats.
Jeremy Ausmus out in second place, $540,000, but it's Brandon Eisen who is rising, surprising, and enterprising. The Seminole Hard Rock Poker Open champion, $771,444.
All right, our championship table is over, but there is still one final table that is still in action. Let's go over to Jesse Abramowitz.
Yes, over here at the 2650 single re-entry, Blair Hinkle is all in and at risk. Boxing limped the button, Hinkle shoved, Boxing called, and we're flipping. Ace-10 of clubs versus 2 deuces. Foxen looking to do the impossible. He pairs his 10 on the flop, and it's looking like he may very well defend his title here. 4 on the turn, just 2 deuces left for Hinkle, or it's over. It's the 6 of hearts. Alex Foxen has successfully defended his title. He's won this event back-to-back years. He'll take home over $208,000. Blair Hinkle will walk away with over $146K.
Congratulations to Brandon Eisen on winning the Seminole Hard Rock Poker Open main event, as well as our other Big Four winners, all who made these final tables.
All right, Chris, let's draw the line somewhere. Not everyone deserves a congratulations. We're not handing out participation awards next, are we?
For Joe Stapleton, I'm Chris Hansen, and for everyone here at Poker Night in America, thanks for watching.
Hey, quit writing mean stuff in the comments, guys. I'm just kidding. Everything you write helps us. It's called engagement. Go to town. Also, like and subscribe. But you'll write the mean stuff too. It's all good.